Alright, we should be live. It's been about a week or so since the last one, or at least like 3 days, because I had my Kickstarter ending and Patreon's off beginning of the month, all that kind of good stuff. But as of now, for the rest of this month, every Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. PST, I'll be live streaming regularly again. I made a schedule for myself this week or this month, because I kept forgetting. Or I'd like want to live stream at like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, this isn't helping anyone. So yeah. Doing some audio checks per usual. Then we'll get rolling in about a minute here. I see Sarah's already here. Hello. All right, I think we're all set. Hey, Jared's here too. What up? I'm listening to the own thing. I can hear like my own breathing. There we go, I fixed it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. I know it's been a while. All right, get my music back playing. And we're set. Sweet. Also, before we get too far in, this is what I'm making today, so Dryad of some sort. I like this one a lot. This was sent in by someone on Discord. This is the one that I plan to go a little more heavily based on. I've actually already done a Dryad before. I did that for my Women of Tabletop. And for her, I made her look more like a fairy, pretty much. But obviously, emphasis on like all the greenery and cute stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and pull her up, because I want to make sure that I don't make these look similar like at all. Because even though they're both Dryads, I like to have like a lot of variety when I do the same model. So yeah, here is my other Dryad, of which, I mean, I just love that pose. It's so freaking fun. So for this one, I'm thinking of having a less dynamic pose, but a really interesting base. So this one like with the tree roots, and this one with the leaves wrapping around. So I'm going to do a cross between the two. I like the leaf-like hair a lot more in this one. I like a lot of the aspects of this one more overall. But I like how this one's a more literal interpretation of Dryad. Because Dryads are tree spirits. So yeah. Ah, this model is so cute though. I'm very happy with it. Sweet. Alright, I'm going to import a naked woman to get this started. Where are my women? I've been making a lot of monsters recently for this huge commission project I'm doing, so I'm forgetting where all my stuff is. Don't mind me. Aha, I have found it. There we go. Sweet. Get my concept art on my other screen, and we'll actually get rolling. Sarah says, I'm super excited about the Kraken from your Kickstarter. It's going to be terrorizing my players. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So my plan for the Kraken, I know there's one from WizKids, I think, where it's like multi-pieces, not like you assemble it, but there's like the main, Kraken head body part, like the squid/octopus, and then like tentacles that come up. So you can move the tentacles around. So I'm probably going to base it pretty heavily off of that. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel like in order to see the full glory of the Kraken, it needs to be like climbing on a ship or something, and I'm not going to make a ship just for one model. Never made a ship before, so try something else. Hey, Terry's here. Just pop and say hello, D&D tonight. Well, I hope your D&D session tonight is super fun. Alright. So we have this started. I'm going to tint her green just to start off already. She'll just look like an alien for a while. Let's see if I can get a nice green. Since I use this this matte cap that has like color underneath it, it can be really hard to get pure colors. I complain about it all the time, but the reason's because using this matte cap really gives a really a nice earth tone to everything I do. If I really struggle with the color, I'll just do it in white and then switch over to the matte cap later. Ooh, I forgot that on your screen this is going to be super, super dark. So let me, bam, up the brightness right away. And then I'll do a speed sculpt as well. Bam. Haven't done a live stream in so long. I'm like, how do I do this? What's my normal protocol? In reality, it's been like 4 or 5 days, I think. But I've been doing them regularly for a really long time. All right. So one of the things I've been doing a lot recently too is moving these arms away farther earlier on, and it makes it a lot easier when I'm designing the clothes and stuff. Same with her legs. There we go. Just a bit more of an exaggerated T-pose there. All right, so for this tree spirit, she's gonna have a really, really idealized form, more than I normally do. So she'll be pretty thin and just narrow. She'd get that like kind of like appeal of like the tree branches and stuff. After I get a couple tweaks here done to this base mesh, then I'll go ahead and start blocking out what little, I guess she's not really gonna have clothes, she's gonna have like wrappings and stuff. I'm gonna make her fingers just a little bit longer too, just to remind myself later, because I'm definitely gonna have like some sort of like elaborate hand posture thing for her. God, the weird like blow up doll face that this base mesh has. You'd think I would have made my own by now. It doesn't really save me that much more time to make my own because I change it so much anyway. I don't like having base meshes that are really stylized, because otherwise all my models end up looking kind of the same. That's why I like this base mesh, because it's so like inflated, I guess you could say, and just round and kind of shapeless. I think I got this base mesh from CG Trader, I can't remember. It's obviously free, it's not like it's not great. If you noticed earlier, I did a mirror and weld because it's not symmetrical, naturally. I always like giving like elves and fairies, tree spirits, like these little like upturned noses. My favorite things. Alright, I'm gonna pop the cheekbones out here a little bit, and then I will also get her ear shape started. It's not actually gonna be an ear probably, but like a leaf, because her hair is gonna be like that. Just kind of like the concept art I showed earlier. Let's see, this concept art. It's gonna be pretty similar to this, but a little less alien. I think her face, like, if you were to look at only her face and not her hair, it's a little too alien for me. I'm gonna go through here with light dam standard, just kind of like block out where her cheekbones are going to be. Doing that little crease right there makes it really easy for me to look from the front then, and then accurately push this up. Because if I didn't have that, usually I'll grab too high by accident, and then she looks like that, which is not cute. It's really tricky, like when you're adding cheekbones and stuff, you don't want to make them look emaciated. It's really, really easy to do. And depending, it won't make your model look terrible, because again, she's a tree spirit, so she's gonna look really weird and exaggerated anyway. trying to think of what kind of personality she'd have and how I want to design her character. I don't think that nymphs are evil per se, but, or not nymphs, dryads, but I really can't see her having everyone's best interest at heart. So I'm probably not going to make her like super soft or friendly looking. Oh, that's right. Her ears are going to be like leaves or something, so I won't worry about her ears too much. Alright, so she has really strong features here, thick lips, and a really pointed chin. I like this. Alright, there we go. Oh, I'll set my timer too. I'm also going to smooth out those cheekbones because they look ridiculous. They're kind of like construction lines. So I want to make sure that I smooth them out earlier than later, because when I forget about them, I'll always see it at the end and it's all really high poly and it's super hard to get rid of them. There we go. Her nose looks really weird. Recently, I have just kind of forgotten how to sculpt noses. I know like the main 3 pieces. I've been having a harder time with them. That's better. Let's see. That's better overall. Alright, let's go ahead and give her some eyes. I want to give her really big eyes so that if I do give her an expression, it'll read really clearly. Her bottom lid is a little too low. ZBrush is being weird. There we go. There we go. I always give them big eyelashes anyway, but it's important to have the creases on your eyelid really well defined, otherwise they don't show up super well. This inner part of her eye, I have it a little too bulgy. Let's see. Eyes are so sensitive. It's funny I spend so much time on them because they'll be like this big on the print, but it matters. Alright, she's looking pretty alien. I like it. I probably should look at the chat, huh? It's kind of the point of live streaming, so I can chat with you guys. Alright. Talking about campaign. Jared said vines, moss instead of clothes. Yes, it's going to be a lot more like this. So, pretty naked. Not like the one I did before, where I pretty much gave her clothes. This is like wood texture and these big old leaves. She's so pretty. But yeah, I'm going to be a lot more literal on the Dryad interpretation here. I see Lars is here. Hello. Jared says, a lot of times you see in lore that Dryad personalities come from the traits of trees they're spirits of. Pine, oak, hickory, but all have very different personalities. Oh, that's cool. So what kind of tree should it be? Is there like a moderately bitchy tree? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking here. All right. So for her eye color, I think I'm just being really dark. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Ricky is saying maybe birch would be bitchy. Maybe? I don't know. I've never really like personified trees as being anything other than wise and nice.
I don't really like Fresno State. Fresno State's on cedar, baby cedar.
I could see that. I don't have anything against cedar trees though. Oh, I should give her eyebrows. See, I get so far into these models, it's really common for me to wonder like why it's looking really weird, and I'm like, oh yes, eyebrows. It's something that I forget when I'm drawing them too. Jared said, I'd say either one that's commonly cut down or the oldest. Or, well, she's such a birch. I love it. Trying to think of like what kind of color scheme I want for this. Obviously gonna be like greens and browns, but kind of playing with what her makeup's gonna look like. I say makeup, I mean, I guess it's just what she looks like all the time, but you know what I mean. I have this like default eyelashes been sticking on my characters recently. It's been saving me a lot of time. Because I realized I make them super, super similar, so there's no point in making them from scratch every time. Okay, they don't want to act in symmetry, so I'll just do this and then mirror and weld. Yep, here we go. Mirror and weld's like my new best friend. Alright, that already looks much better. Alright, that's a pretty good start for her face. That way she has like some sort of personality going into this, or I know how I want to do this. I think her chin's a little wider than I intended for it to be, but her little nose actually is perfect. And again, the ears, I'm probably gonna make him into leaves anyway, so I'll worry about that later. Alright, I'm going to elongate her body just a tiny bit. So right here I can see like the 1.03, so I'll probably do like 5%. This is making her weirdly tall, but it's also giving those like elongated proportions I would think of when I think of like a tree. Her name can be Autumn. Think fall foliage. Oh, that'd be really pretty. That would make this a lot more fun to color too. Yeah, I'll definitely think about that. See, I was going like, cool, I know how to do faces, I know how to do heads, and now I'm like, how am I gonna do... This is gonna be tricky. I'm looking at the concept art, so what I'm looking at right now is this image. And I'm just like, okay. Wow, her hands are like super fucking creepy. I did not see this part of the model somehow. I've only been looking at like this S curve and it's sweeping back up. I don't know, like the hands in this. Bleh. I want like long skinny fingers, not like this weird chunky. it's a beautiful piece of art, don't get me wrong. Alright, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a second shell. So I'm going to extract a layer, and then I'm going to start appending different leaf-like shapes and kind of playing with that shape. So it's weird because I usually do my models in symmetry, but this will be very asymmetrical, which means I probably should pose her now, but eh. See, now I go back to this model, I'm like, oh, it's so lackluster, because, I mean, it's not, I know it's not finished, but I'm just like, eh. I'm really just like hem-hawing on this. Okay. Here. We are going to make a leaf shape of some sort. I'm also going to merge her eyes to her head before I forget. Because this model might end up with a ton of different pieces. So I want to make sure I stay on top of my subtools. Alrighty. Let's make a leaf shape. There we go. Alright, I have a singular leaf shape. This will be my base. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this. Let's give it a color. I love that fall idea. So, let's do a bunch of different leaves on the 3 different colors I plan to do for fall. There's gotta be a good red in there somewhere. And instead of the brown, I'll opt for a more yellow. Alright, those are my fall colors. Gonna make it look like a turkey by accident, you watch. Alright. This reminds me a lot of like a costume design when you are, it's like the draping stage. I really need to make sure these don't end up looking like feathers. As of right now, I'm not worried about that, but just as I keep working on this, I need to keep that in mind. Let's see, Jared said, what about a crown like antlers but branch-like? I'm probably not going to do that because her hair is going to be so awesome in theory, so we'll see how her hair turns out. Alright, I'm now very, very concerned about that looking like feathers, so I'm going to ditch that approach actually, and what I'm going to do instead, something I don't do super often, I'm going to Dynamesh her body, this duplicate, at a somewhat low level. There we go. And then I'm actually going to like sculpt a concept on. I don't usually do this, it's like 3D sketching. The reason I don't do this usually is because I'm usually pretty confident in exactly what I want. But in this case, I don't really know what I'm doing. So, I'm gonna go this approach instead. I'm not gonna worry about her feet too much because again, I'm gonna have some sort of like something swirling around her. I think this will be easier for me if I think of it going from a direction, so I'm going to go like right to left. And it just looks cool. It looks like I really know exactly what I want to do here. And it's not very often that I do a lot of like freehand stuff. This is a lot like working on with paper, which I don't do a lot anymore. Or ever. I don't know, I'm saying it like I've been an artist like my entire life. It's been a year, in case you guys, anyone that's new here. This is my official 1-year anniversary of being a full-time artist. Let's see, it's May 7th, so in like a week from today, last year, is when I got my diploma for mechanical engineering. Woo woo. Gotten a lot of use out of that. I'm still really glad I got it. Sarcasm aside. Alright, now that I'm working on this, I really don't need to have everything hidden. Okay, so if I'm gonna do it like this, I can already tell, that's why I'm glad I'm sketching this first. I really want this to be a really dramatic curve right here. So right here, it's kind of like a non-committal curve. I want to do better than that. So I'll make the strongest line have the biggest curve to it. And the other ones will kind of just fall off of it. I'm doing it in green, which is funny because I'm probably going to end up doing this in like a brown or something like Tree Roots. Sarah said you could do oak leaves to not look like feathers. Ooh, that's a very good point, and that'll come across a lot more clearly too. I will probably do that. I like it. And then 3D Print Vikings here. Hello. Alright, I like the concept of this so far, roughly. Just kind of getting this blocked out and seeing where I want this to go. So all these like tendrils I have right here are going to be like multi-layered pieces. This is just like the first layer of trying to figure out mostly the direction of how I want things to lay. It's actually a lot like sculpting hair, weirdly enough. I've done vine work before, but it was always more of like an afterthought and not like the focal point of the model. Definitely want this other arm to not be like blank. So I'm trying to think of how I want this to flow. And then so whatever I have exposed that is not wrapped in vine, I think I'm going to do like a textured in between as well. So maybe like wood bark. Going very literal in the tree, as you can see. Alright, and then someone, Sarah suggested maple leaves, which makes a ton of sense. So let me look that up for a reference, because I will forget. There we go. Maple leaves are so pretty. It looks super weird right now, but it'll make sense in a second here. It's gonna be a fun concept for like a monster moth based on a maple leaf. I almost like this shape better than what I ended up with. Maybe not. Never mind. There we go. This maple leaf has looked like a lot of things that were not a maple leaf, but at this point, I'm starting to see maple leaf. The top of a maple leaf is really weird. I understood these parts better. I want that top part to be a little softer because I don't want to be too pointy and sharp because that will lead to a lot of really fragile points when I print this. So I'll deal with this for right now. It's weird seeing these lines like so harsh because normally we see them like crumpled. So sculpting that feels weird. But I'm just trying to get more of like the symbol down so that when I have these in abstract shape, it looks nice. That's just me telling myself to like move on and stop obsessing over this leaf. This kind of just turned into like a fun side thing. Because in reality, it's going to be super small. All right. Oops, accidentally got rid of my curve right here. So I'm just adding this really light texture onto this to prevent it from looking too uniform. This isn't going to show up on a 3D print, but it's going to make it easier for me so it doesn't look as perfect and weird. I spent so much longer on this stupid leaf than I intended to, but I just started having fun with it. Alright, so I'm probably going to be using a lot of these. I'm actually going to decimate this because I don't want to have like a million points just in leaves. Alright, let's get some of these blocked out. I'm keeping these other leaves right here because I might use them. Probably not because they look like feathers. And just mainly because I like the colors they were. What is it doing? Oh, it's sticky. That's why. There's so many little buttons in ZBrush. Occasionally you'll click on one and not realize it and wonder why things aren't working the way you want them to. See, I really want to have like leaves like floating in the air and stuff. That's just not a thing in the 3D printing world. I'll get the vibe across. I'll also have to be creative. Alright, I like that little cluster of 3. That looks nice. I can tell it's going to be really, really cute detail to have on there. This is one of those models where like I don't know where it's going really, but I know it's going to look good. Sometimes I don't know where it's going and I don't know if it's going to look good or not, and that's always a fun time. So I'm using a lot of bend arc here just to get like subtle curves to the leaves being twisted, and it's going to really help guide the eye up all these different vines and stuff and like really emphasize the direction I'm trying to get across. They almost look kind of like flowers at a glance, but I love it. It's very pretty. I'm also tempted to do things that are like really cheeky and just silly, like a giant leaf on her butt or something, because modesty. I don't know. I'm not going to, obviously, but like, there are options to do stupid things here, and I'm tempted. This is one of those models I'm probably going to spend a lot more time on than I need to. Like, I could have done a simpler design and gotten the point across. But It can be a lot of fun to get really caught up in the details for a model like this. Like, how pretty is this going to be? Like, I don't know if you guys can see it. Like, I'm seeing in my head, obviously, but I can assure you it's going to be pretty awesome. So it might look more like she is wearing a hat of leaves than hair, but either way, it is going to look cool. Here, I actually want to put it on the other side. Let's see. Jared said, "Will all the leaf textures of wash really going to bring out all the details?" Yes. You said with, not will, but yes. Sarah, it's a good looking leaf. Thank you. I was like 60% confident with it, but I know like if you do things that are like good enough, like there's like a symbol representation of it, when there's a bunch of them, like your brain just kind of like autocorrects all the problems with it. I appreciate the compliment. Kit said, it might not work on a resin printer, but leaves printed flat with a few vines, connected them when printed with FDM can then be shaped and molded into a hairdryer at heat gun. Ooh, I see what you're saying. So like, okay. Actually, no, that makes a ton of sense. I wouldn't even... Okay, let me think for a second and then I'll speak English. So what I could do is I could actually create really thick vines that would look thin because I would just add thickness behind it. So you can look at it straight, it'd look really thin and delicate still. And have leaves coming off of that. So I wouldn't have to worry about shaping or anything like that. And that would be a way to have like leaves in the wind kind of thing. It would be really fragile, so I'd probably have to work with it. But your idea of doing an FDM is like really clever and really cool. I like it. The fun part here is going to be making sure that she doesn't have like a ridiculous receding hairline. It's going to be like a really, really fancy comb over essentially. And I was thinking about at first like hiding the stems, but I might actually pull those down her neck and really emphasize them. Man, I am not screwing around with this forest collection. These models are going to be awesome. Kit says, it comes from a few projects I've seen in the past. One was a wrist brace, print flat, and they use hot water hairdryer to soften the plastic and upshape it to your arm. Ooh, that is really, really cool. It's almost gonna look like she has like flames for her hair. Now, as you guys can see, I'm like chronically lazy. Once I do like a combination of any leaves, and if I think I can possibly duplicate it to use it again, I do. It's definitely gonna need more work, but like the concept of like flowing leaf hair is there. I also should really export this speed sculpt. I am like asking for trouble at this point. Okay, I need to export this before I don't. Definitely looks more like fire at this point, but it's okay. Have I not even saved this once? Wow, I am really just feeling risky today. Okay. Dryad. I mean, I have quick saves, but eh. Alright. Have this speed sculpt go. Label it 1. There we go. And while it's going, I will stretch up my wrist finally. It's been a bit. Let's see. Other was a lotus flower where the leaves are put in flat and then layered heat to fold them in, making a hidey spot in the middle. That's cool. Lotus flowers are my favorite, so that's really cool. Place the flower in a bowl of hot water, and the unfurled reveal what's inside. Cool. Given the maple leaf, is this a Canadian version of this character? No, that's just the least feather-like leaf that Sarah actually suggested, which I thought was a really good idea. Because I was worried about the leaves looking like feathers when they were not painted. I might style her hair more to come down instead of going up because I think it's looking too much like a flame. A cool little sexy leafy flame, but like a flame nonetheless. Yeah, this is my first leaf attempt. Just like really simple, but I was like, that's gonna look like feathers. This is where I started the 3D sketch phase of it. Just like really low poly, blocking out kind of where I think I want vines to go and how I want this to wrap. And I do think that like between the vines and stuff, I'm going to texture it either look like bark or smaller vines because I don't want to look like a human wrapped in vines. I want to look like vines on top of more vines, in other words. Otherwise, it just looks like a really elaborate poison ivy cosplay, and that's not what I'm going for. I still kept these 3 smaller ones anyway, because I like the colors I happen to pick there. And this is my really weird way of blocking out the shape of a maple leaf. Which was harder than I expected it to be. Maple leaves are, I don't know, it's just a more complicated shape than I thought it was. Kit said, well, at least you didn't use cabbage for inspiration. And here's my terrible poly paint of that leaf. It's just to get the idea across, and they added some light texture on too. As of right now, the texture isn't nearly deep enough to like hold any sort of wash or something, but I'll probably worry about that later. I'm gonna regret this about the detail all by hand, but I'll figure that out once I have them all laid out. I'm still very much like in the concept stage of this. Kit said I'm probably showing my age with that one. So I think I'm actually going to keep this motion of it coming up. I think it's really cool, but also sweeping back down. Now, as of right now, this is great because her hair would be supportless. It just print upright, no problem. But I don't know if it's going to quite have the look that I want it to have. It cracks me up that I made 1 leaf for all of this. It'd have a little bit more variation and look a little bit better if I just used 2, but eh. So now I'm toying with a part of this just coming straight down. I think it'll look a little bit more elegant. Because as edgy as her hair looks right now, I do think it looks cool. It's not quite the vibe I'm going for with this character. Cracks me up because since her hair is made of leaves, there's like all these really awkward bald spots in the center that I'm gonna need to like cover up later on. Can you imagine having hair made out of leaves? You just need like a slight breeze and completely ruin your hair day. Alright, that's looking much, much more the way I intended for it to. I do think it was really pretty before too, but it wasn't really what I was going for. So right now what I'm doing is I'm adding all this thickness behind the leaves. This is what will actually make all this nonsense 3D printable. See, now all lays completely flat. Otherwise before, like each individual leaf would have had to be supported. And since I print all my own models, like I don't want to have to support that. I'm not going to worry about doing to all of them right now. I'm just making sure that that technique will still work with these, given that this is pretty complex. pretty happy with this so far. I'm gonna merge these down and hope that I merge them down, they will stay as separate groups. Really? If I go to polygroups, auto groups, it should recognize them. Okay, well it's doing individual leaves, which is like, though super obnoxious, I might actually want that for later. So I won't worry about just merging these down for right now. Oh, now it's doing separate groups. Okay then. I also have one section that's weirdly like every single leaf is defined. Alright, so now let's kind of look more about the vines and how I'm going to do this. This is the base body that I had, and then this is the kind of like 3D sketch that I have. I'm not super happy with the like wrapping parts. Like this looks fine, but I really don't want it to look like she's again like cosplaying like a character. I want it to look like she is made of that. So the only thing that's going to help with that is getting the base established, because her feet aren't really even going to be showing. Kind of just getting creative on how I'm going to construct this. So that'll be like the base ring that everything is coming off of. You plug in my computer, and then I'll probably use clay tubes to slowly create these vines that kind of like wisp away from it. There we go. Yeah, that should work nicely. I think radial symmetry would be awesome for this. There we go. And then I also want them to taper. So if I go to, I think it's stroke, curve modifiers, I can go to size instead of intensity and then invert this, and this should make it so they taper. Yeah, sweet. That worked way better than I expected it to. Alright, so now I'm using some curve modifiers to really make sure I get the look that I want here. I'm hoping it will twist. There we go. And though it looks insane, I can assure that this would be supportless. Kit says, Dryad special skill, basket weaving. Right? Totally. I think this model's going to be super impressive. Hi, someone new here. Indie Respawn. Hey there, I just found your channel because I recently ordered a resin printer. I was trying to find some resin post-processing tips. Thank you so much for the video. Oh yeah, I'm glad it was helpful. Oh, I made that video a super long time ago. My hair has been like 3 different colors since then. Oh, and congrats on the new printer. That's going to be super fun. Hey, Zaxxas is here. Hello. Glad to see you stream too. I do, and as of this month, every Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. because I was not being very consistent before I had set schedule because I was forgetting to do it. Let's see. And good call on the rotary tool. I think I might have to order that at some point. I just made a UV LED paint bucket curing station. Very nice. And yeah, the rotary tool is so helpful. Use it all the time. All right, she's starting to look like something other than her weird T-pose blooming thing going on. Let's see. Saxa says, I hope I didn't join just before the stream ends, since she's looking pretty good. Aw, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep streaming. Let's see. Kit says, this is still the sketch phase, I believe, if you want a 2D equivalent. And then, yeah, pretty much. As of right now, I want to say the body, definitely still a sketch, because I need like to refine all that. But like this weird basket thing I made, that's pretty done. And then as far as her hair, that's like 80% done. It just needs a lot of refinement and stuff. And then Indy Response says, how long have you been using ZBrush, if I may ask? Pretty much 1 year exactly, like full time. So I started in 2018, just like loosely messing around in like June, May-ish. And then in August, I started doing it a lot more. Of course, when I'm back in school. And then so a year ago in May is when I graduated my degree. And instead of going to an engineering job, which is what I planned to do, I ended up becoming a full-time artist. So yeah, in like a week is my official 1 year anniversary to the day of being a full-time artist. It's been awesome. All right. This is looking so cool. All right. And you know, now that I think about it, I usually do it in the stream, like right as you show up, Saxos. Not this time. This is such a weird model to make, man. Usually I just have a different workflow for this. I have a low poly phase and a high poly phase, and it's like really, really clear all my steps. And I always pose last. But in this case, it's a little different. I'll worry about like attaching all the leaves later. But for right now, I do want to merge them down before my, oh cool, they're already merged. Before my subtools get out of hand. Oh, she looks so cool. All right. I'm still worried about that hair and how that's going to print. Like, I'm not worried about any of this. This is all going to be, like, just fine. But all the rest of it... You know what? Nah, it's going to be totally fine. Because all I'll have to do is go through here with my move and backface mask and just pull these in. Oh yeah, that's going to work out super well. And I'll do that later once I have all that, like, moved around. I have all of her bald spots covered up. I'm excited about this too. I really want to like pull these closer into her face and like do something interesting with them. Kind of like sexy sideburns. Except they're not sideburns. They are the stems of a leaf. And I do need to go through and like actually detail these leaves so in a way that's going to show up. As of right now, I don't think this texture... You know what? Yeah, it actually will show up. Never mind. Good job, me. I didn't realize that her eyelids are all screwed up, though. Yeah, that looks weird. Alright, let's fix that. All I need to do... Oops. Take paint off. I just need to select these. Wow, ZBrush, if you could just not be like that right now, that'd be great. There we go. Select this, split that into its own piece, and wiggle these up a little bit. Because they look pretty good, they're just a little too high. I said that backwards. They're too low. Point is, they just need to be moved a little bit. There we go. That's one of those things, again, it's something that's going to actually affect a 3D print, but I will know it's there and not right, and it will bother me. Okay, I'm doing one of those things where like the more I mess with it, the more I'm messing it up. Let me... Right there. That's where that looked best, I think. And then... I feel like that looked weird at one point, too. It's this bottom lash that needs to be better defined. There we go. Just a really small thing. Wow, now her eyes look way scarier than they did before. I love it. I also see that her hairline's like way too far pushed up. She has a huge forehead, but again, it's like her hair is leaves. So I knew creating a good hairline was going to be kind of a challenge. So that's the before. Let's see after. Just pulling it down even a little bit goes a long way. There we go. That's a bit better. I do want to soften her chin just a little bit. She's pretty high poly for me to be trying to do this right now, so I hope it doesn't get all screwy. There we go. It's looking better. Just gonna go through here and define a couple of her features a little bit stronger, but also smoothing them out so they transition a bit better. Yeah, her side profile looks pretty good. The front is a little wonky, but I need to... There we go. The eyelashes fix a lot of that top lid issue. Sometimes I can get away with this by just masking it and going to clay polish, and it'll harden up that edge. There we go. That's about what I wanted. Also inflate her lips just a little bit. And then my lazy mouse is way too high. Just adding a little bit more definition to her lips. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Alright, so at this point I'm going to kind of move away from just the sketching phase to like more like confident lines of where I want things to be. So I'm going to go through with this darker paint color and really lay on the direction that I want. Let me make sure it's actually making a texture first. There we go. Looks so weird without the color in it. There we go. Alright, let's see. Saxon says, am I there right as it starts or right when it ends? Very true. India says, nice and mixed up a bit. I used to do everything out of a sphere, but now I block out characters as primitives, and then I'll merge down at certain points. Gotta find what works and experiment. Yep, pretty much. And then Zaxxon says, that hair is amazing. Thank you. I'm really glad, because it's probably the most, like, out there part of this model. So, if that's a flop, the whole thing's gonna be a flop. So I'm really glad that you like that. See, I liked what I was doing here with this like construction bit where these were gonna like fold under, but yeah, it didn't really work out. I don't really like that. But I do like this line that I did that went all the way back. I think I'm gonna do those more just like parallel lines. Because if everything is curving, it's gonna be hard to draw a focus to one area or the other. So you guys can tell at this point in the design, like there's a lot of lines I'm not going over. I'm really just trying to pick the ones that are the strongest. Because the whole body is going to be textured to some degree, but I'm only going to have like emphasis on certain vines. I think the reason I don't like this section as much is because they're too uniform. So what I'm going to do is I'll make it coil more tightly at the end. Like this line right here where it cuts across underneath the knee, it makes sense, like that's how it sit on the body, but it's not the most like flattering. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to refine here. So let me just erase that, and let's bring a more flattering contour line there. One that fits like more like a diamond around the knee rather than like a flat line. See, that looks a lot better. There we go. That looks more balanced. Alright, I think that's a good stopping point. I might keep working, but as of right now I'm just gonna like take a break, export the entire speed sculpt again before I forget and lose it. There we go. So this is the entire live stream from the very beginning, so if anyone just happened to join, you joined at a great time, because now you get to see the whole thing. Alright. Zaxa says, I would think it'd pass above the knee. Stuff like that goes around the knee, I think would chafe the back of the knee. Yeah. Let's see, pass above. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, either way, I'm like, I imagine she's able to grow and not grow this stuff at whim, because it's all part of her, so not too worried about it. So you go around the sides, like that looks great, though. Thank you. But you're right, if this is like a costume, this will not be comfortable at all. I'm gonna stand it for a bit and stretch. I'll be right back. So as Axis, I see that you said that the leaves and maple leaves can be used to make some excellent bases, and like, oh my god, you're so right. I really need to keep this maple leaf and not forget about it. Anyway, speed sculpt is still going, so enjoy. Zaxis asks, how do you plan to handle the filling between the hair and the scalp so there are no voids? So honestly, it's not going to be very hard just because minis are so small. But obviously I want this to look really good even if she's printed this tall. That way it's not like she's bald. I'm probably going to apply some really light texturing to her scalp, so you won't even be able to tell. But for the most part, I'm going to use the move brush with back face mask, and what that's going to do is, so if I have my hand right here, and if I use move with back face mask, when I try and drag this way, it'll just stretch my hand without moving this most outside side. It's really cool, because normally if I use the move brush on my hand, it would just like, bleh, it would like cave in. I couldn't make my hand. You know what I'm trying to say. It'd go like this. But yeah. God, she looks really, really cool. My computer is so hot. Oh my god, why are you so hot? Ah. Seems abnormal. What else am I doing? I'm streaming, but like, that's usually not an issue. Let's get a nice render on here too. It's been a while. Alright, I'm going to delete the movie currently, because I think that's causing this to get really hot too. Please calm down. It's like on fire. This is one of the things I love most about doing Patreon models and stuff, because ever since the Elementals, I've really had a lot more confidence about kind of just doing my own thing with models, and so far no one has been bitchy about it. It's been great. You haven't seen this yet.
I haven't. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm very happy with it.
Good. It looks fantastic.
Ooh, snack tray. This is everything I love. Thank you.
Yep.
Heck yes. In case you guys are wondering what I eat, it is Cheeto Puffs, Chex Mix, Goldfish, and like a granola bar and pretzels. That's what I'm made of. That and marinara sauce. This is wonderful. All right. I'm going to eat my snacks actually. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, because I won't be doing anything other than sitting here and snacking for a bit. Obviously with the mic turned off, because I hate fluid sounds. I'm sure most people do. There we go. I haven't taken a proper break yet, so. Hey, Nathan's here. Looks amazing. Thank you. I'm really happy with it. I don't know when you got here, but I'm going on a break right now. I'm going to stand here, or sit here, but I'm going to eat snacks. So if you have questions, this would be a great time to ask me. And if you rewind like 3 minutes, there was a speed sculpt of the entire live stream so far too. Zaxa says, bagels and coffee? No bagels? I'm pretty sure you used to be made of bagels. You were not wrong. I got myself bageled out because I was eating like 3 bagels a day. But yeah. Alright, my laptop has calmed down. It's no longer on fire, so we'll proceed working. Alright. Just trying to think about what the next steps are here. I might pose her first and then worry about getting the vines looking just right. Let's see. Nathan asked, is ZBrush the only software you use? For sculpting, yeah, it's pretty much the primary I use. Occasionally, I'll use Blender to rig. That's pretty rare. I don't really do that anymore. Or Mesh Mixer, I always use to like proportion my minis to make sure they're exactly 28mm scale. But yeah, other than that, it is a lot of ZBrush. I think I am going to pose her, actually. Oh, sweet. I technically have a lower subdivision level for this. Yay! Finally getting my workflow together. I'm gonna hide all these other leaves. They're not in the way. Can just tack those on later. Not really committed to a certain pose. Just something floaty, something cool. My music stopped playing. Saxa says T-pose equals tree pose, right? Clearly the only option. She needs to assert dominance. Good one. I'm definitely glad I decided to do this first, and then I'll go back through and refine the vines, because otherwise this would have been a huge pain in the ass. Obviously her foot looks all screwed up, but I'm like, it's gonna be like hidden in the vines, so no biggie. I do like things that look good, but I'm definitely not a perfectionist. I used to be. Being a perfectionist and being an artist only lasts for so long. If you want to like stay sane anyway. Alright, that is already looking much nicer. Sarah says, you could actually put her in the yoga tree pose and that would be hilarious. Yes, that would be super hilarious. I'm not going to do that, but now oh my god, I almost want to just for laughs. Nathan said, what was the longest project you've done with ZBrush? The reason I had that immediate like, oh, attitude is because like it doesn't, doesn't mean it's good. I want to say the war elephant I did, because apparently I don't know what a damn elephant looks like. Alright, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a slight breather here to talk about elephants, guys. No one wanted this, but now you're getting it. You're welcome. I just need to stress to you guys, I know everyone thinks you know what an elephant looks like. You don't. Trust me. They are squares. They are squares. And I thought, like, oh, this is more like rectangular, but that's not what most of them look like. Here we go. They are just... Oh my goodness. It is so hard to get the proportions on them right. And then if you don't know what specific model I'm talking about, I'll pull that up right now too. But this model probably took me a week of working and crying every single day. Usually I'm not that bent over getting a model done, but this specific model like tortured me and I did not enjoy making it at all. But yeah, look how awesome they look though. Yeah, they look fantastic once they are done. But there's a lot of challenges with this. Getting the skin texture quite right, that was a huge nightmare as well. Because they're wrinkly and I don't want to individually sculpt wrinkles. That would have sucked. But yeah, that's probably my biggest project. It is not my most impressive model though. Like I feel like my hippogriff looks just as good, if not better, personally. But yeah. I think there was one for my Women of Tabletop that was also a colossal pain in the ass. Yeah, to me, long project does not mean good project. It just means I struggled with it. Not all of these were pretty fun, actually. This one, I did really weirdly fast. This one was so much fun. She was pretty challenging. The kobold was pretty hard for me. But that wasn't that bad overall. That was like a live stream. But yeah, this elephant. That elephant is what took me the longest because elephants are just... Look at their weird skinny legs. You think they have thicker legs and they don't. And then their feet look like these squashed pancakes and they have toenails apparently. It's a lot. But yeah, there we go. We talked about elephants and even if no one wanted to, I wanted to. Saxon says, $5 says it was a commission where the person kept changing their mind. Oh god, I wasn't even thinking about commissions. Oh god. Yeah, no, if we're going technical, Zaxxas is actually right. I'm going to pull up that model. And I used to be super polite about this. And I'd be like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. No, if this guy is watching and you asked for this, you were such an asshole. I'm never working with you again. At the time, I was super polite and weird about it. But no, as of now, I'm like, nope, you suck. It was animal humanoid. Where is it? This model. This freaking model. If you search something similar on ArtStation, it is there. He asked for it to be a reference. It doesn't even look that good. Christ. This was very early on. I wasn't that good of an artist, and this guy, like, punished me, man. I think we had... Our email chain was over 150. Yeah, that guy, like, way took advantage and was a complete dick. So it's that one. That one took, like, so many hours. And again, just the time spent emailing this guy who was being a complete jerk. I was very clear. I'm like, I don't do replica work. He was like, oh, yeah. No problem. Wanted a replica of this model, which sucks because now I can't do anything or sell that model because it's not mine. It's a derivative work. But yeah, oh man, I wouldn't even thought about that. Thanks, Zaxxas. Kit says pachyderms. Zaxxas says they're eggs with legs. Nathan says very cool. I'm glad. Kit says, let's not even talk about there. Yeah, let's not. But oh man, I totally forgot about that Kenku commission. Blech. That was such a pain in the ass. And it's weird, like I'm a really like I love saying no. But I'm also like a chronic people pleaser. I love making people happy. Oh, I know, right? Sue me. So the problem is like that's not a great combination. Because even though I love saying no, and I sometimes I forget when to say no, I don't have this problem anymore, needless to say. If anything, I'm a little too strict with my commissions, honestly. But that's okay. There we go. This foot looks weird. Okay. I said earlier I was not going to care about the foot, but here I am caring about the foot. I like this thing a lot, but I want to make sure it doesn't take up too much of the model. Like, I don't want it passing her belly button. Zaxa says, repressed memory, clearly. Yes. Kit says, that collection needs an anthro squirrel. Oh, funny you mention. Okay. I hope this isn't just driving someone nuts who's trying to watch this and I just keep referencing my own models. But I do have that. I do have a squirrel. You said squirrel, right? I have the memory of it, of an ant. Anthro squirrel, yes. I really hope I have a picture of it. But no, I have a squirrel with a little sword and armor, and he is the goodest boy, and I feel like I didn't make a big enough deal when I made him. Can I spell squirrel, or is it not in here? I'd be so mad if I didn't put it in here. Huh. Alright. This has to happen, though. See, my models are actually organized now, so I can, like, find shit. So exciting. Here we go. It's happening. Squirrel Knight. Are you ready for this? I feel like I'm amping this up too much. Like, it's a good model, but it's not, like, perfect. And it's not colored or anything. But here it is. I have a Squirrel Knight, and he is so freaking cute, guys. And yes, he has a little acorn on his shield. Yes. The goodest boy. I hope this is worth the wait. Alright, back to what I was doing. Let's see. Zaxa says, so it's like once you say yes, you're strapped in for the whole ride. Pretty much, yes. Kid says, thought that was a mouse. The thing with, okay, there is a mouse version too. That's what it was based on. I just remixed the mouse to be a squirrel. Kid says, oh. I want to turn the head, but I'm like really worried about what if I want to change something on the face and I can't do it in symmetry. You know what? This will be a good reason for me to not keep sculpting on the face and just leave her face alone. Because if I look at her face right now without color on it, I mean, it looks great. I kind of want to fixate on her bottom eyelids. They're not as defined as I want them to be. But I'm not gonna focus on this, I think. I might have to fix that. If it's an easy fix, I will do it. And if it's not, I will leave this alone. ZBrush, what are you doing? There we go. Because this bottom line, if this isn't more exaggerated, I mean, the eyes barely show up on a mini anyway. But then you're never going to see it. See, that was too much. Oh my goodness. This is the kind of stuff that gives me tendinitis. I kind of did a larger connection on the outside just to make her eye look a little bit bigger. Okay. I am happy with that. Now I can turn her head. Oh, nope, that was terrifying. There we go. Let me center this first, though. That did not do what I thought it was going to do. I forgot how long necks are, guys. I think that's right. Okay. So I like that this, since this leg is bent, this arm is out. It makes sense for balance. So I think I'm going to tuck this arm in. Just a little bit though. I cannot remember how arms work right now. How in the hell am I supposed to bend this? I know this bends. Wrists can do all kind of cool stuff. That was not a sentence. Okay, I need to leave this arm alone and I'll come back to it before I like ruin it. Okay, there's a very subtle line happening right there, and that's what's throwing me off. I am so sensitive to creases on arms. It's still there. Okay, leaving it alone. Look at the chat. Sarah says, alright, it's late, I'm off to bed. Thanks for joining. Good night. Nathan says, awesome squirrel. And then Kit says, I'm not a bit biased at all. Nope. Oh, I know what's wrong with her head. I don't have it tilted at all. It's just perfectly upright on a tilted body. That's why it looks so dumb. There we go. Posing's hard, guys. See, this makes me feel like she's not posed enough now. I need to exaggerate this. I forget, we have two different points where we bend. It's like at our waistline and then like our rib cage as well. You know what would have helped this too? A twist. If you really think about all the different ways that our body can move, it's ridiculous. It is so freaking complicated. How are her boobs still perfectly flat on the camera? Like, that's not what I want. Okay, I did this too much. Let's undo. Overall was going in the right direction, but just went too far. Okay, I just need to fix this top bit right here. And I can rotate her ribs as well. There we go. That's kind of more the look I'm going for. It's tricky. Oops, that's terrifying. So I can use the transpose line to like tilt. This looks crooked, but it's not. It's like a weird optical illusion. This piece right here is what I'm talking about. Just in case though, I'm going to make it flat on the bottom because I'm using that as a reference point right now. So if this is all screwed up, it's like super confusing me. There, now I know for sure that's flat. Yep, it still looks crooked. All right, cool. I might need to finish this pose up tomorrow because I'm having a hard time remembering, like, what is the human body? What is posing? This one arm is also really screwy and weird too. Here, let's do it without that weird grate, and that'll help me. Okay, yeah, tilting her head the other way didn't make sense. It needs to go this way. Posing this other arm is definitely helping. Imagine that. Sometimes I get too focused on trying to finish a pose even when it's like obviously not finished. And so even though it's like, oh, well, duh, it looks weird because he has one arm sticking straight out, I'll just forget that. So the fact that her shoulders are ending up being pretty parallel with the ground is also what's throwing me off. So I'm going to focus on just her body here. That's why I have everything else hidden. I want to get this figured out first. Easier said than done. I could just tilt it like this and then like... Kit says she needs a headband, an electric guitar, a mighty axe. No. There we go. Pushing that shoulder back helps a ton. That's the thing is, like, I don't always know what it is gonna fix a pose. I just know it needs fixing. Which, I mean, hey, it's the starting point. Alright, let's see where her head's supposed to go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I had this planet that's just been kind of like tacked onto the base, but now I'm thinking I'm just going to have it stretch straight downwards coming out of the base. There we go. That's the direction I wanted this to go. So I needed to mirror it. says, I can't believe it's almost midnight here. Way past bedtime for work tonight. So good night. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, thanks for joining. I'm sure you're asleep by now. Sorry. Zaxa says, now give her a woodwind instrument, preferably a didgeridoo. Nothing strikes fear into the hearts of lumberjacks like a didgeridoo. I think this isn't going to crash, but I'm glad I got to see you work. I can't wait to see how she turns out. Good night, everyone. All right. Probably gonna wrap things up here pretty soon too. I just wanna erase that seam on her neck because it's super ugly. And then we'll call this good. And this is mostly just so I can get a nice render of this. So I can kind of understand. That's why I have duplicated copies of, copies of it. Just trying to smooth out this area. I can feel ZBrush wanting to crash. So I'm like, please don't. There we go. Yay. That would have been sad. Even as a little tree spirit, she still needs proper anatomy. Because I'm like, why does this look so weird? I'm like, all right, there's like a huge muscle there and like a collarbone or something like that. Didn't I say after my snack break? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do just a little bit more work. It's been like another few hours. See, now I detailed it too much. Whatever. I say whatever, but then I go back to like fixate on it. So I like completely erased it at this point. Ah, I should just use a standard brush, that's why. Like from that angle, it looks perfect, but from the front on angle where I'm trying to get a decent looking render, it does not. It's partly because there should be another one running right here. Ah, that does help a lot actually. Stupid muscles. Even though they were tacked on, it looks good enough. I can cover that cover that up with a leaf. Definitely not dead, but looking pretty cool. Let's get a cool render on here, and then I can properly eat my snack tray. Saxon says, I'm sad I'm probably able to participate in the painting contest this month. School is going crazy since there's only 2 weeks left. My parents have been broken since 4/2. Aw, bummer. But yeah, at least school's almost over. Alright, well, she's going to be absolutely freaking amazing, but oh my god, she's a lot of work. Yeesh. She ended up not really looking like the concept art, which is good. I mean, it's just one person said maple leaf, and I was like, oh, fixated on that. So I love live streaming, because I wonder what she would have turned out if I didn't live stream this. Yeah, thank you for hanging out pretty much the entire time, Zaxxus. And of course, I'm sure there was someone that was lurking the whole time, too. I appreciate you as well, even though you were quiet and didn't say anything. But yeah, I will be live streaming again tomorrow at 6, so I will hopefully see you guys there. Bye.